Hello everyone, today we are making the second menu of semester 1 and so today we are making cream of tomato. Now cream of tomato is a thick cream soup. So as you have learnt in the soup chapter, the cream soup, the thickening agent is white sauce. Second thing we are making in egg and veg stew. So what is a stew? Stew is a one pot meal where all the vegetables and the main ingredients, that is egg today, will be cooked together in one pot and then it is served along with the liquid or along with the gravy, along with the sauce. And then we are making a salad. So today we are making a Waldorf salad, and the Waldorf salad is made with apple, and the dressing today is of mayonnaise, and as you know, mayonnaise is a cold sauce, so it will be served cold on a bed of lettuce. First we will segregate the ingredient. So we are making 3 products, so I have kept 3 plates for this. For the soup, we will see the tomatoes which are red in color, much red in color, that will be taken. But tomato is also going for the, so you can see yellow color tomato, slightly yellow color tomato, that will go for the stew. Good amount of tomato will go for the soup and lesser amount for the stew. Carrot will go for 2 products, so it's going in the soup and it's going in the stew. Potato will go entirely for the stew. Then the celery, generally the leaves of celery are not used because this is bitter, though it can go for making of stock. So we will first remove the leaves of celery. Now celery is going in 2 products. So celery will go going for the soup and celery will go for the salad. Onion is going in the soup and onion is going in the stew. So we will divide this into half and we will put in 2 different plates. Then egg going in 2 products. So 4 eggs, because 1 egg is 2 per portion. So 4 eggs will go for the stew and 1 egg will go for the mayonnaise in the salad. Bread will go in the soup for the croutons. Parsley, some parsley will go for the soup and rest of the parsley will go for the stew. Turnip is going in 2 products, so it's going in the soup and it's going in the stew. Put in 2 different plates. Rest of the egg will go in the stew. Apple will go for the salad and the lettuce will go for the salad, that is underliner of salad. Walnut will go for the salad. So walnut will go in 2 forms. It will be chopped and the whole will go for the garnish. Cauliflower will go for the stew. Glazed cherry will go for the garnish of salad. Garlic will go for the stew. And the green peas, these are fresh green peas because this is in the season, will go for the stew. Okay, first we will keep water for boiling because water will take time to boil, and that is for the egg. Now bread will be prepared for croutons. So first we will remove the sides of the bread and then this bread will be cut into cubes. So from one bread you can get 6 to 8 pieces. We will just keep it, and then this can be either fried or can be baked to make croutons, and this will go as a garnish for the soup. After this we will clean the chopping board and we will proceed with the other ingredient for the soup. So we will take the tomato and we will cut into cubes. The size does not matter over here because this is going to be pureed anyways. So we will cut into just big pieces. Now if you see here, we have kept this on a separate plate, not with the crouton, because the moisture content will spoil the bread. So we have taken this in a different plate. We'll again clean the chopping board for the other vegetables to follow. Now first we'll peel the turnip. And cut it into cubes. Again, for this also, the size does not matter. We'll cut into big cubes. One thing you have to remember, that the amount of tomato should be more than all the other vegetables taken together, because tomato will determine the color of the soup, and that will give the red color to the soup. All the other vegetables which can discolor the soup, like turnip or carrot, has to be taken in small quantity. Onion again to be cut into cubes. Okay. Now you can see all these vegetables are kept along with the crouton because it does not have moisture content. Carrot to be peeled and then cut into cubes, big cubes rather. So we'll keep the carrot on the plate, and then we'll start with the other vegetables. To be cut into big cubes and then transferred on the same plate. We'll just clean the parsley and keep it on the side. You cannot chop it, otherwise it will turn black. Now the water has come to a boil, so we'll add salt to it, and then in this we'll add vinegar, because vinegar helps in coagulation of protein. Same, first we'll adjust the temperature and slowly, with the help of a round spoon, we'll gently put the egg inside at the bottom. So if you just drop the egg, the chances are high that it will break and the egg white might come out. So we'll put all the egg one by one to the boiling water. We'll stir the water in a circular motion so that the egg yolk remains in the center. This thing is already discussed, I believe. Then we allow it to boil for 9 to 10 minutes. In the meantime, we start with the soup. So first we'll switch on the flame in a saucepan. We'll add a combination of butter and oil. If you just put butter, then it will turn brown because it has a low smoking point, and it will give a brown color to the soup. Let it melt. And then in this, first we'll add onion to it, lightly saute it. Don't try to brown it, otherwise it will discolor the soup. Then we'll add carrot and celery and turnip and just lightly saute, making sure none of the vegetable browns. We'll add all the tomatoes together and mix it nicely. Added all the tomato and we'll mix it, and while mixing it will release some of its own juices. Okay, and we'll continue sauteing it for some time, and then we'll add bay leaf and peppercorn. Bay leaf will be just divided into half. Few pieces of peppercorn to be added and mix it. Both bay leaf and peppercorn are added for the extra flavoring. Now to this mixture, we'll add tomato puree, add some water to use all the tomato puree, add it back to the container, stir it, nicely, and then add water to it. Water just enough to be added to cover all the ingredient. The flame would be high at this point till it comes to simmer. Now after water is boiled for 9 to 10 minutes for egg, we need cold water on the side. So first we reduce the flame, we'll remove one egg at a time and then add to cold water. Ideally if it is ice cold water, that's better. We'll add all the egg one by one so that it will arrest the further cooking. If it is allowed to cook further, it will give a blue color. Now we'll make the mayonnaise for the salad. Now for making of mayonnaise, we'll take one soup bowl, and first we have to divide egg yolk and egg white. So you can see for this we have to slightly crack the egg, making sure the egg yolk and egg white do not mix. So we take one baba mold down so that all the egg white goes down and the remaining egg yolk, which is required for making of mayonnaise, goes in the plate. Egg white can be used for other preparation in the menu. Now in this egg yolk, we'll be adding mustard paste. Around half teaspoon of mustard paste will go in this, a quarter of salt, 1/8 teaspoon of pepper powder go in this, and then we have to stir it nicely so that all the ingredients are mixed together. Then we have taken 150 ml of oil in a measuring jar, and to start with, in the beginning, we'll add oil just drop by drop. If you add in bigger quantity, it might curdle. So we are adding oil and then we are mixing. So all the oil which is getting added, we are trying to make one emulsion with the emulsifying agent of egg yolk. So we'll just wait for the initial emulsion to be made in the mayonnaise. Now this is, you have to be very careful while you are making mayonnaise initially. So slowly we'll start mixing it. Now you can see emulsion is made. So in this, first we'll add little vinegar to it. vinegar helps in emulsifying egg yolk and oil. Now, if you see the time we added vinegar, the color of the mayonnaise had changed to a milder color, much whiter color. Then now at this point you can add more oil at a time. Now the chances are very low that your mayonnaise will curdle from now on. So if you can see here, I have started adding more oil at a time till all the oil is exhausted. So we have to continue this till all 150 ml of oil has gone in the sauce. Now this is done. We have to clean the side with the help of a spatula. Now we'll add remaining vinegar to it, and as I have already mentioned, by adding vinegar the color will be more milder, that's one thing, and second, it will be much thinner than before. The same thing can be done by adding egg white also. This mayonnaise is ready for the salad. We have to clean the edges so that it comes in the center, and it can be stored, if it is not being used now, can be stored in a fridge. Now for the soup, we have to check the ingredient. The tomato has to be mashed up. Now this is ready. Okay, so we have to strain this. So for this we will take another saucepan, and with the help of a soup strainer we will strain the soup. Now we will require the water, so that's why we are straining. So don't throw this water. Okay, we will just stir with a spoon, so all the water goes in another saucepan. We have already added bay leaf and peppercorn to the soup. That was just for flavor, it will not go in the soup. So we'll just transfer the content on a plate. It will help in cooling the contents, and then we'll remove the bay leaf and peppercorn. I'll advise, please count the bay leaf and peppercorn while you are adding in the beginning, so that you know exactly how many pieces has gone in the beginning. So that can be removed and can be kept outside for cooling. Hot content cannot go in the mixer for pureeing. We'll remove some of the mayonnaise for the NAPE. Now NAPE is the mixture of mayonnaise and cream that is used for covering of the salad. Rest of the mayonnaise can go for the apple. Now we have not cut apple till now, because the time you cut apple it will become brown in no time due to oxidation. So it has to be just cut and added to the mayonnaise. So this process has to be done as quickly as possible, so that it will not go browning reaction and become brown, and it will discolor your salad. So cut this as quickly as possible. You can see for the salad the cuts are very important. So it has to be nice cubes. It should match the size of each and every cube. So time few of the pieces are done, it has to be quickly added to the mayonnaise. So one apple is done, it will directly go in the mayonnaise, and then it will be mixed. Another way how it can be done is, after cutting, some pieces of lime can be put on top, so that does not go for browning. It will be transferred in a saucepan and then nicely mixed, so the layer of mayonnaise comes on top of apple, and it prevents the apple from browning. I can see it's nicely mixed with the apple. Now for the salad, we need celery which is finely chopped. So, we will first slice the celery into thin pieces, keeping all the pieces together, and then we will finely chop it. It is very close to brunoise. These will be finely chopped. This will be used for the salad. This is a part of salad, but some can be kept on the side for the garnish too. I have used most of it in the salad. It will be again mixed with the help of a spatula, but I have not used everything. Some will be kept for the garnish. After mixing, this can again go in the fridge. Now for the stew, the tomato needs to be blanched first. So for that, we'll first remove the eye of tomato. We'll give a crisscross on the back, a plus sign on the back, and we are preparing this for blanching of tomato. This has to be done for both the tomato, and we'll keep boiling water ready for this. Along with boiling water, we also need some cold water. So after it is plunged for 20 seconds, it can go in the cold water. Now cauliflower, we have to cut cauliflower in florets, but it has to be cut from behind, should not be cut from the front, otherwise it will dismantle and it will be cut into very small pieces. It will break. Same with all the cauliflower, and then we'll transfer on the plate. Carrot to be peeled, and then it will be cut into nice cubes. Unlike the soup everything was going to be pureed, but so we are not very particular about the size, but here the vegetables will be seen, so it has to be cut into nice presentable cubes. You can see I am taking extra effort for cutting of vegetables which were not there for the soup. The turnip, similar to the soup, it need to be peeled and then cut into nice and presentable cubes. We have to remove head and tail of turnip and then cut into nice cubes. Onion to be peeled and get rid of any black part, any fungus which generally develops on onion, that need to be removed, and this need to be cut into cubes. Garlic need to be peeled and then finely chopped. Then we start with potatoes. So for potato, another thing what we require is cold water, because same like apple, it also browns very easily. So we start with peeling of potato, making sure that there are no brown specks on the potato after peeling. So anything brown you see on the potato, that need to be removed. If you find any green spots, that also need to be removed. If you find any black spot, so any black, green or brown part on the potato need to be removed. Cold water needs to be handy next to you. So after peeling, it can go in cold water, and even after cutting, it can go in the cold water to avoid any browning. So you can see potato is nice and clean, nicely peeled, and then we start cutting into cubes matching the other vegetables, cutting into nice and presentable cubes. Potato also gives slight thickness to the stew, otherwise your stew will be very watery. Now tomato is blanched. So what we have to do here is we have to just remove the seed. We are okay with the pulp, but we are not okay with the seed. So first we have to cut tomato into 4 lengthwise, and we remove the seed from both the side, and this has to be done with all the pieces of tomato. Deseeding is done, and then each piece will be cut into half. So after this, we are ready with the vegetable part, which is going in the stew. This can also go with the other vegetables. After this is done, you have to make white sauce ready for the soup. We'll start with the stew. So first we have to regulate the temperature, and then we start with butter and oil. I have already explained in the soup why both are added together, and we'll allow this to melt nicely, making sure that it does not brown. So in this, first we'll add all the onion and stir it and lightly saute it. Try to break the pieces of onion. Then we'll add garlic to it and stir along with the onion, making sure it does not brown, because the color at the end, we don't want brown color stew. We'll add the vegetables which take more time to cook in the beginning, that is cauliflower, carrot and turnip, and stir for some time. Then we'll add potato to it, potato which is already added to the water. Remove from the water and add this to the mixture. Saute it for some time, making sure none of the particle burn. We'll add tablespoon of flour, which gives slight thickness to the stew, though we have already added potato, which will also give some thickness to the stew. The flour has slightly browned. We'll add tomato. We have added tomato now because if you add tomato in the beginning, it will not allow the flour to cook and it will give one raw taste. That's why tomato is added after the flour. Now in this, we'll add tomato puree and we'll saute for some time. So anything which is stuck on the side, tomato being acidic, will remove any sediment, any flour particle. We'll take some water, add to the barber mold and try to use all the tomato puree. Mix it for some time and then we'll add water to it. This being a stew will not add too much of water. The water will be a level lower than the vegetables or just covered with the vegetables, and let it simmer for some time. Now for the soup, white sauce is ready, the water is ready, and the puree is also ready. So we'll add puree and the water together, mix it nicely, and as a general rule of a cream soup, we'll add color to the white. Now tomato puree being color over here, this will be added to the white, that is white sauce. Add slowly, don't add all the ingredient together, because tomato being acidic, it might curdle the sauce. So we'll add little tomato at a time, add to the white sauce and keep on stirring. So you can see the color of white sauce getting changed. Okay. We'll use all the puree and add to the white sauce. If you require more liquid, you can add water or some milk to thin it down. Now this soup will be strained twice. So the first time we'll add the contents of the soup and pass through a soup strainer. With the help of a round spoon or a spatula, we'll try to strain the contents in a different saucepan. We'll continue doing this so that the liquid particles will pass through the soup strainer. Anything which is stuck in the saucepan can be transferred on the soup strainer, and use force or the bottom part of the round spoon to remove everything. Slowly it will become difficult because the roughage part or any impurities which cannot pass through the soup strainer that will remain, this has to be discarded. So we'll try to remove as much as possible, but if it is not happening, this will be thrown in a kachra bowl. So this is the first straining of the soup. Now the soup content will be again strained. We don't need another container. In the previous container itself you can strain the soup, but now this time we will not use a round spoon. You can see it is a smooth soup now. So for the stew is simmering. So in the simmering stew we'll add bay leaf and peppercorn, and then we allow it to simmer. Now to complete the soup, for the presentation we will use a double boiler. So we have taken some water in kachra bowl and we allow it to boil or simmer, and then to complete the soup we will add the container to the kachra bowl, then we will add salt and pepper to it. We will mix it and we will check for the taste. We will also check for the consistency of the soup. This looks nice. For the final preparation of salad, we will cut walnut into big pieces, and this is for the garnish. If you see, we are cutting walnut into big pieces. We are cutting the walnut now because we do not want to discolor the salad. So will be cut into pieces and will be added to the salad. So everything will be collected and added to the salad. Now we have to prepare lettuce for the salad. It will go as a underliner for the salad. So you can see there is a thick white thing in the center, so that need to be removed or trimmed. So, we will take back of the leaf and with the help of a knife, we will make it flat. With the help of a knife, we will trim this leaf. Now, this can be done with most of the lettuce, making sure it does not go through, only to remain on one side. This had the other side there are no marks. So, what we will do, we will take small pieces of lettuce and we will try to arrange it to look nice on a white plate. Try to keep in the center. So, we kept some mayonnaise in the beginning. We will add cream to it for NAPE, and this is for the covering of salad. So, we took some cream and we will mix it nicely along with the mayonnaise to thin it down and to make the color more milder or more whiter. So, we will mix mayonnaise, apple, walnut and celery together. Now, this was there in the fridge, so it's chilled. The plate can also be chilled for making of the salad. Now, carefully we will remove the contents of the salad and place on the lettuce, on the bed of lettuce. Take little apple at a time and try to arrange nicely in a pattern. Okay. Don't just put salad any which way. It should look nice on the plate. It should not be stuffed. Don't add too much of salad on the plate. Now we'll put NAPE on top. NAPE generally means covering or to cover in French. So, we'll put NAPE on top, and anything which falls on the side, you can see some NAPE on the plate, that will be removed with the help of a duster or any napkin. This salad is ready for presentation, and for the final garnish, we'll add some finely chopped celery, then glazed cherry which can be cut. This is also for garnish. So, glazed cherry is cut into half. It can be cut on, it can be kept on the side. In a pattern. In salad, you have to follow certain pattern so that it look nice. Similarly, whole walnut can be kept in between the glazed cherry, and the salad is ready. Egg need to be peeled for the stew. So, for that we will gently crack the egg. We will remove the peel in a kachara bowl. Don't be hurry at this stage, otherwise some part of egg white will come on your hand, and after this is peeled, it will go back in the water. This had to be done with for all the eggs, and then it will be cut into half lengthwise. Now, the stew is thick and the vegetables are cooked, so we have added oyster sauce to it. Mix it, and for the taste or to bring out the taste, we will add parsley to it, and then we will add salt and pepper. Don't cook parsley over here, otherwise it will turn brown or black in color. So, after adding all these things, just switch off the flame and the stew is ready for the final preparation. So, for plating of stew, we will take vegetables in a bowl along with some water, and then we will gently place halved hard boiled egg. So, generally for a portion we will take 2 eggs nicely arranged in the bowl along with the vegetables. We will press it to look nicer on the plate. For the plating of soup, we have removed it from the flame. Now, if you see, we have put one duster below because this is hot. So, we have taken one soup plate. We will transfer the content of the soup in a soup plate. Do not add too much of soup to it. Okay. Do not fill till the rim. If anything is spilled on the side, that can be cleaned with a duster. Now, for the garnish, that we are adding 3 things. So, first thing what we are adding here is cream. Now, in the cream you can add some water. If it is very thick, you can add some water to make it thin, and we will just add a swirl of cream to this. Then we added croutons. It is made from the bread. It can be deep fried or it can be baked. So, just 4 or 5 pieces of bread can be added here, and finally we will add a sprig of parsley over here. All the 3 things are ready. So, there is a soup in the center, there is main course and salad. So, we have made a very simple menu today. All the things which are there in the menu is easily available in the market, and if you do not get something like lettuce, it can be easily kept on a bed of cabbage leaves or any leaf for that matter. So, I hope you can make this at home easily. See you in the next practical class.